Good afternoon.
Welcome back to the Super Metroid Randomizer Mystery Tournament. We have on this schedule a 2-on-1 matchup between derxu and Nikplayer. My name is DJ Webb, and I will be bringing you this race along with Ace Zero. How's it going?
It's going great. Nice, chill Sunday. Great time for Super Metroid Randomizer race. And just a shout out before I forget, Nirvana Gaming helping us on tracking to make sense of everything that's going on in the race. But this should be a really good one. A 2-in-1 matchup, both extremely skilled and well-versed randomizer players, been in tournaments before and league. Looking forward to a really good one.
Yep, Nikplayer on the rise quite a bit over the last year or so. derxu, been around for a while, is not necessarily as active as some other people, but clearly still got some good skill under his belt. Did upset Zeb earlier in the tournament, so definitely not someone you want to underestimate in any fashion. So hopefully we have a nice fun race on our hands, and we'll see what the mystery tournament throws at us today.
One thing to note as we get started right away, it's not going to be countdown, and we don't even have that nerf starter charge, so runners will be required to find charge or a ton of ammo. It definitely changes the weight of ammo checks. I would say this gives ammo, especially missiles, a lot more weight early on.
Yeah, vanilla charge being 33% versus, well, all the charge possibilities are weighted equally at 1/3, so there's a 2/3 chance you have the starter. My biggest worry if I see 60 is if you get the 2-1-1, because that makes supers harder to find generally, and it's kind of impossible to truly know, so you're just kind of running around, especially depending on which of the item splits you get. It's kind of difficult to weigh how much ammo you really want to be picking up, as we do have a vanilla morph ball. Still no decisions, or no disambiguation between Major Minor and Chozo.
Yeah, that's a good point. If it's Chozo split, we're really unlikely to see a ton of ammo pickups just because you're that much more likely to run into the charge beam. This still doesn't tell us whether it's Chozo or Major Minor.
Yes.
We'll find out at the ceiling, unless it's an E-Tank, and then we technically still won't know.
Yes. The Alpha Missile is unlikely to tell you. The ceiling E-Tank is more likely. And yep, there is another missile. We are in Chozo, as all it is down here is missiles. And Nikplayer looks very willing to skip this ceiling missile, and derxu looks to be following suit.
I'm kind of surprised, but I like the play from derxu not to waste all the time setting the jump back up, because by the time you see it, you almost waited the whole time to get it, other than the fanfare. But yeah, just missiles, not that big of a deal unless we end up no charge. If charge is like spring ball or something horrible like that, then it might feel really bad to have skipped it.
Yes, indeed. In Chozo, it's typically a little bit easier to find the charge beam because of both the smaller item pool compared to Major Minor and obviously Full, and also depending on how the bosses are arranged, there are several logical requirements that disallow charge in certain places, those being Quagmire, Ridley, and Botswound. So Ridley is never going to hide the charge beam. If you need to actually go through Botswound and bosses aren't shuffled, for example, that's going to disallow the Dragon boss in the Plasma location. So it's a pretty lean amount of places that you can get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's Chozo item number 2, the Screw Attack that will break bomb blocks. We can go to the left. We can also look at the Gauntlet E-Tank Chozo if we so desire.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. You're going to want to, I think leaving that with 230, if you really get desperate and you need some movement items or really looking for that charge, they can't check 230 missiles right now anyway, so they could maybe pair that with the gauntlet check later. For now, you just want to get whatever this minor is that doesn't have any logical implications, and check if it's area randomizer or not. Although I say that, and derxu is going to check that gauntlet item.
Yes, indeed. And we'll see what this door tells us down here in the criteria pirate shaft. It is area randomization. So a little bit about our mystery tournament. There are several different parameters of the seed that are randomly chosen by the randomizer generator. You do not know what you're going to what's going to happen to you until you play through the seed and find things out. So we've been talking about the item split, which is Chozo. You've got area randomization, which is 2-to-1 to occur versus vanilla map. There's another transition to single chamber. We're definitely going to head to Red Brent Star. Unfortunately, without super missiles, this derxu play could be pretty big if that's what happens to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to confirm that I understand the logic, and as well as everyone in chat, going through the tube here is in logic, right?
It is, yes.
Even
You
though
do
it's a
not need
one-way
power
at the moment.
bombs.
You need power bombs to get back, but for now, that might be the logical expectation. Although with supers here, the derxu has, he could opt to go to the right, over towards the crab hole moat area. Well, can't actually get to moat, but can check the one transition in that direction.
Correct. So yes, unlike the very randomizer, that tube clip is in logic. It is almost always used by people, so the fact that it's in logic really just means that you know this can be a one-way, and especially with neither power bombs nor the high jump or gravity, it's most likely that if this is the logical play, it's just going to send you places that'll get you back to where you needed to go. But it's also possible that it will just give you both power bombs and high jump / gravity if you need to go back to criteria for any reason. So yeah, those supers are gonna allow derxu to check that spacer that Nick just left behind, as well as the alpha power bombs if we end up in that direction. It's also the case Nikplayer didn't save at the ship. I have had a seed where I had that tube clip in this situation and got completely soft locked and had to reset 20 minutes worth of progress. That save's not going to save you without power bombs if that's what you need to get back. So a little bit dangerous here, but he's pretty confident so far that he'll be fine. We did find business center here. Can't chuck the right portal again without super missiles.
Yeah, even if he gets soft locked, there's a lot of information being gained here. Like he checked all the portals at the bottom of Red Tower. He's going to have knowledge on these items, but there's 3 here. Chances are one of them will be a power bomb or super missile that'll allow Nikplayer to progress. Plus 2 more portals at the top of Red Tower to check. Unlikely. Yep, there's the super. Looks like on the backside. High jump missile, so not punished for not checking gauntlet. With the exception of that spacer that might be awkward to get back to a little bit.
Yeah, there are 2 good entrances to boss areas down there, but if that hides one of the items that you would like to use to get to one of those, you're not necessarily going to be in for a good time. As derxu is electing to not do this tube clip.
I don't understand. Maybe he doesn't know about the logic, because he might be thinking, like you mentioned, that the Varia logic doesn't expect that of you, and being such a veteran of Varia randomizer for so long, maybe derxu doesn't realize that and thinks that the seed logically is asking him to go over to the crab hole. If that's the case, I mean, like, it's obviously incorrect information, but I like the decision to stick with the seed's logic. That way, you don't get stuck somewhere without power bombs and really need them, like here at the ice beam location. Hard to get out without power bombs, especially without various suit, when your health sticking down, making that jump is really difficult to escape iceless.
Yes, especially taking that damage, we are almost certainly is. That's the frontal lower Norfair. We're definitely not going that way. Spring Ball, Nick did save at Business Center, so yes, does know this information. But yeah, confirmed that the tube clip is required. We absolutely cannot do anything with missile, screw attack, and super missiles to do anything in the frontal lower Norfair. So
yeah, and derxu showing that, like, checking that power bomb door, maybe just to make sure that he knows what's going on, like, seems to have been thrown off by that. So pretty sure that's a misunderstanding of the logic.
Yep, sometimes you learn things the hard way, and by the hard way I mean live in a race in tournament.
Absolutely. Let's put those supers. Nikplayer going to check this other entrance.
Yep. Very nice vanilla high jump is going to make movement very comfortable for the rest of things. I would have checked the Ocean Miner for a power bomb, but Nikplayer just says,
Yeah.
let's go back to Red Tower.
And actually, with his save in Business Center, I wouldn't have minded checking spooky missiles on the boss. That's good information to have, and you don't have to like take that extra time to save again, or like, and then backtrack out of the wreck ship if it ends up not paying off. But there's still plenty of other good things to check. Only 2 of the bosses are beatable right now with the slowed out. So it's not. This is a conservative play. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, power bombs on derxu's side. I didn't think to check this. So the various suit's really interesting, but also this minor check from derxu is interesting too.
Yes. Possibly confused about the logic, checked an item that is not part of the Chozo logic and gets quite the reward with the power bomb.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be a little bit confused for a little bit, I would think.
It might be not understanding the logic or realizing now, like, oh, I know what I did wrong with the logic, and since I did all this other stuff, and I feel really behind, so I want to make kind of a Hail Mary. There's a chance of that. This allows some differentiation.
Without power bombs, this would have been a terrible differentiation play, in my opinion, but he did get 2 powerbomb packs, as it turns out, and we're going to find out this meme route check where I would have expected it to be obtained from the other side. It's it's Meridian map. We're not doing anything there. So he is, again, he's going to be forced to do what the seed expected. As Nikplayer, I know, has saved in Business Center. I don't know if he resaved at the near X-ray save once he got the various suit, but there's an ice beam. This is a potential soft lock with the various suit, and we know about logical supers. Going to the right side of Norfair is totally in logic, so that could be where our bomb or power bombs are, especially power bombs to be getting back from here. And there's back of wreck ship.
Okay, so this is not a soft lock then, confirmed. He can go through wreck ship if needed.
It would be quite slow, but yeah.
It's slow, but yeah, it's better than... Especially if he finds something else here that's good and needs to get back around. That might be something the seed is asking.
And derxu also gets the benefit of those power bombs right here at 230. But here we are, new bridge found at the top. Can get the Brinstar Reserve Chozo and not the other 2 because we still don't have bombs or power bombs. Maybe a big pink miner or this Green Hill Zone miner will bail him out, but this is a long time to be with Screw Attack, which breaks bomb blocks but not bomb morph tunnels, which is a term I kind of just invented.
I really don't like this from derxu. He's going to check across the moat, which, like, he knows it's out of logic. So if you're out of logic, just do what's fast and go through the tube. You know, like even if he's still thinking there's no way the seed wants me to do this, he should know that it's absolutely not asking this CWJ with no logical power bombs.
As he finds a 3rd minor power bomb, and Nikplayer, on the other hand, still can't find any. derxu has found all of the power bombs that are around and theoretically accessible.
Yeah, this is like one of the most awkward interactions where if Nikplayer had all these power bombs, he'd be in great shape. You know, skipping over Spore Spawn, skipping over Charge Beam. But derxu has the power bombs and isn't going that direction.
Right. Oh my goodness. And it's great. If this is a killable boss, this is actually somehow gonna be like the biggest, most amazing payoff in the history of Randomizer. As we've got a wave beam here. I expect Nick is capable of this little trick with Screw Attack. Would have laughed if that was another power bomb. Yeah, he's going for it.
It's not high jump makes it harder. Yeah, I would absolutely turn off high jump. I don't know if I've done it with high jump before, but he almost
got in there.
Just missed the spin jump.
Oh, he's got it this time for
is.
sure. And there he goes.
Ooh, okay.
Finally some power bombs. So I know how to do this trick. I don't particularly know how to explain it to you in a very comprehensive manner, other than you need to jump and aim down so that you shrink your hitbox, and then you get stuck in a way that you can spin jump once. And if you're a moonfaller like me, there's an easier way to get you farther to the right that Ace is probably jealous of.
No, not at all. Never jealous of moonfallers. But it's kind of similar to the clip and wreck ship, except instead of breaking your spin with an angle, you break with a like a down input. And it is a killable boss. It's Kraid, so we have I guess no information technically on what the boss shuffle is, but this is more likely than any other boss, of course, because even if it's shuffled, it still could be Kraid. It's vanilla, it's obviously Kraid, so yeah, this is a big payout for derxu, but he's still behind on so much the other checks that...
Well, that's going to help him to catch up.
Yeah. Especially if he gets that high jump quickly to really get the full movement package.
Yeah, he'll have the energy and the power bombs to get out with that spring ball. There's the top of West Meridia, which is good to have. West Meridia is mostly a traversal zone in Chozo with no Chozo items, but I was thinking how Nikplayer gets back to the right side to get Kraid, and one of those is getting through the map station. And you really don't want to fall down West Meridia here because you left 2 Chozos down here, and you also know that there's Upper Norfair through the middle portal to get you to a couple more Chozos, so not going that way makes sense, but...
Yeah, that and traversal just through Cathedral to the right side of Upper Norfair. Like, that's also available.
Yeah, well, he's got Croc Door at the Green Hills, so
that's right.
Go there.
There too.
Yes, we've got 2 Chozos here. This is one of them, the Spore Spawn Supers. derxu is finally going to be coming over here to basically the rest of the map. There's a few connections here between Criteria and other places, but does need to do this as there are our power bombs.
So the logical power bombs require you to fight Spore Spawn. Good thing we're not following the logic exactly.
Well, it's possible that bombs are like hanging out on Bubble Mountain and you don't technically need to fight Spore Spawn, but yeah, that is an option.
That's true.
But we have...
Yeah, I guess, is that the missile, like the super missile trick there is not expected logically though, right?
The back door, I guess kind of doesn't matter.
In the front, yeah.
Right, exactly, yeah. And that was that X-ray that you just picked up?
It was X-ray, so nothing too exciting. No plasma beam yet, or charge to be able to X-ray or microwave any bosses.
Yeah, speaking of charge, Nikplayer has been very willing to skip some missile packs thus far. Of note, we do have vanilla charge, so we have to find it to charge our beam. Yeah, to answer Fringo's question in chat, the first power bombs derxu found were at Old Mother Brain, the second were the vanilla power bombs in Retro Brain Star, and the third were on Moat. This Nikplayer is farming up his ammo. I'm just going to be checking. Probably wave and speed. Might elect to do Norfair Reserve as well, but there's no Chozo items in there.
Yeah, we still have 2 portals here in Upper Norfair to check as well. Single chamber and the lava dive, chronic boost, whatever you want to call that room.
Yeah, we actually saw a single chamber from the other side already.
Oh, did we? Where was that one? Was that the bottom of Red Tower?
No, it's
that was
Criteria.
Yeah,
right. Criteria, the Kegel room. Okay. So derxu finally getting into Red Tower, has the various suits. He is turning off speed booster, potentially just to make jumps a bit more comfortable here in Red Tower. Is gonna save. I don't know about his
this is
propensity for early X-ray, yeah, but he does have power bomb selected.
This almost has to be early X-ray, otherwise I wouldn't see a reason why you'd turn off speed. Like, yeah, it can be annoying, but this isn't something that's like essential or you're gonna lose so much time over. But it has a pretty aggressive check. We'll see if it pays off.
He turned off speed. He didn't turn off screw attack, and yeah, after that deboost, he thought better of it. But yeah, Nikplayer, the payoff for all those missile skips finds charge at speed, and this is the final point of this trick. Gets the deboost, very nicely done by derxu. You're gonna see what this probably still out of logic check. There's missiles or bombs, so yeah, confirmation that it was in fact expected logically to fight Spore Spawn. But I know we have Varia and Ice. I don't know how many of our tanks are Chozo, but considering Nikplayer only has one, almost certainly don't have 2 Chozo tanks. So, yeah, we'll be happy to have bombs. Already have 15
two
power
tanks are
bombs.
required for the X-ray?
With right? Varia and a backup.
That includes with speed and high jump, because those are both available currently.
Yeah, high jump and speed would have been possible. We have ice as well, so either one of those works. And there's plasma beam. We have full beam very early here in this seed.
Yeah, the seed's been really generous after that power bomb pickup. It's kind of just handing everything, so Nikplayer no longer cares about really any ammo whatsoever at this point. I wouldn't even. Like, you're not going to go out of your way for supers that are even directly on your path, basically.
Yeah, this is one of the more awkward positions for Chozo, just because with one energy tank, the most likely place you're going to find tanks is miners, because you definitely don't want to check literally every Chozo. But like you said, no miner checks that aren't tanks are of any value at this point, so probably you're still going to see some non-Chozo checks that are relatively close, or maybe, you know, they're coupled with a few items, but we do need 3 energy tanks to beat this game. There's a super that Nikplayer was unable to reach without power bombs there. As we know, not really of any consequence, as we found another West Meridia portal here at the Chronic boost. Nikplayer is going to have to get back to somewhere that he wants to go. Looks to me like that somewhere is probably wrecked ship.
Yeah, I would think so. Now 3 of the 4, I mean, if you want to really be aggressive, technically all of the bosses are killable and escapable, but you don't want a Dragon in this situation.
You would have to Crystal Flash. The good thing is that after the Crystal Flash to get the blue suit, or well, it would just be a flash suit. But we do have microwave, so the kill afterwards would not be difficult.
Don't you have to convert it to get the microwave to work, or like otherwise it overwrites?
Oh, you're right. That's gonna. Yeah. So you couldn't microwave. You would have full beam charge shots.
Yeah,
though.
X-ray overrides the flash suit, if I'm remembering correctly, and I think it works if you convert it into like the whatever other type of suit. The names always get me mixed up.
Yeah, blue suit is pretty much only describing blue, but flash and spike and spark suit all describe the same thing. And yeah, you could convert it. You just normally you do that while you're grapple killing, and we're not grapple killing without the grapple beam, but that is still possible. But yeah, not the most fun fight to be doing on one tank, if that is what we find here in the wrecked ship. And we are going in this direction. I think the pathing is a little weird regardless of which direction you take, so I think this is totally fine. With high jump, movement,
high jump and ice makes this fine.
Yeah, especially since you freeze the fish in one hit. Shout out to full beam. Yeah. This will be the first boss that Nikplayer will be interacting with. And if it happens to be Feintune, we'll be pretty likely to be in a vanilla boss situation, but as we said with the vanilla crate, still all 4 options are possible. And we'll just have to see. It's going to be interesting with how derxu comes across these things. He knows that if he falls down West Meridia here at the top of Green Burn Star, he's definitely got an escape. Meme Rout's not a good escape, frankly. And actually, I think it's a dead end at Main Street. I just don't know if it's Croc or Turian. So probably the best option, regardless, is to come back to Green Brim, which is a little awkward. But that is what we're looking at. He also doesn't yet have the high jump boots from Upper Norfair.
There's a very high chance now that it's vanilla bosses, which was kind of what you would expect when you see that grade at Kraid's Lair. Now 2 out of 2, we're still pretty sure of that, getting more and more confident.
Yep, I've never run the numbers, but I saw Zeb say in a race the other day that finding the first boss vanilla makes the odds like 2 out of 3 that the bosses are vanilla overall. So we're definitely even higher than that now that we found 2 out of 2 vanilla.
Right. And even still, that 2 out of 3 that all the bosses are vanilla means it's even higher that any individual boss is vanilla. If it's shuffled, you still might have 2 vanilla, 2 swapped, or something like that.
Yep. So we've got nice 3 items available to us here in the wrecked ship. First one's right over here at right super. Nice and easy and quick. The wrecked ship E-Tank. Not super dangerous, but still kind of dangerous. We have the various suit, which is going to offer good protection from the spikes and half damage from the Kazans, but we don't have a ton of health, as it just...
Got more health now.
Yep, 50% increase pretty much. Nice to see there.
Also, that was a great Kago through the work robot. That was very cool. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it looked like it maybe sped Nikplayer up a tiny bit.
Yeah, I like this check here. I don't necessarily know if I like picking the super up, but hey.
Yeah, I'm in agreement on that. You have muscle memory for that room to do it a specific way too. In any category, you're gonna get those missiles or super missiles, pretty much. So gets a nice D-boost on the way back. derxu farming up some health, kind of not in great shape with his energy. And then, yeah, gonna double back to Upper Norfair as well, I believe.
Yep.
I don't know what else he would have to do. Unless he decides to opt into wreck ship first. With this many supers, he could actually do Ridley as well, even without the charge beam, so that... And the knowledge, of course, that Kraid is vanilla. It's gonna be thinking it's likely to be Phantoon.
Yes, indeed. Your player did take a save before this wreck ship E-Tank check. See how he elects to do this? Most comfortable way is to take off those high jump boots, and that is gravity, so we're getting that for sure.
Yep. That's basically don't check anything else except for, I guess you still need E-Tank, never mind. So you definitely check other things for an E-Tank.
Yes, indeed. And this is going to be potentially a little bit awkward. derxu, like I said, doesn't have those Bubble Mountain items yet. Both high jump and spring ball, especially the high jump, extremely useful. He has the ability to speedless speedway his way over there, but probably you do these checks first on the right side. And then I don't really know. I guess he can, after that, take the front of wreck ship if he's over on the left side, and that would be nice.
Yeah, he'll do the speedless speedway with speed if he wants to do that, because
he's
and can't actually do the speedless speedway without Spazer or Plasma.
Yeah, I forgot he had speed. I've been looking at Nikplayer's side too long, and I just knew he was getting Plasma. So yeah.
Yeah, because of that, I actually would have liked to see him do the left side first. Not just because we know the items are there, but like those two are both so quick and easy, and this Bubble Mountain is a little bit obnoxious without high jump. Plus, this kind of spits you out over. I don't know, it's just these are longer checks by a little bit, and it would be nice to clean up the easy ones first.
Yeah. So he's gonna get charge and plasma over here. So in both directions, definitely items that you want.
Oh yeah.
As Nikplayer is going to be in Red Tower. He probably does Lower Warfare here. That seems smart to me. The awkward thing for him, he hasn't been spit out on the right side of criteria, and the only way he's going to get there is if he does back to front Lower Warfare, or at some point just decides to do that. But Craig's Lair is outstanding, and the back of East Meridia is also a dead end. The other dead end is at Main Street. So portal wise, it's gonna be better for derxu holistically, but if Nikplayer basically just kind of chooses right, as going into East Meridian is pretty much gonna disallow that in all scenarios, because whether this is Croc or Turian, you either don't want to check it if you can figure out that it's Croc, or you want to do this area last if it's Turian. So if derxu's portal tracking is on point and he gets things in a good order, basically, he can figure out that this is the place you want to do last. But like I said, with the information that Nikplayer has, it was pretty much like do this or do Lower Warfare, and it kind of doesn't matter which one you do because he hasn't found the opposite side of either.
Right.
And he is going to be rewarded with E-Tank number 3, an item that me, personally, after a couple of fails, I don't like to skip that item if I don't have speed. So the fact that it was literally my go mode would have been beautiful. Shout out to you, Vanilla Bots with E-Tank.
Yeah, we might see, just because it's a race, Nikplayer pick up another 1 or 2, or if his energy gets low, but not really going to be looking for another E-Tank anywhere.
Yeah, I think you look at Precious, you probably look at Hoda Ruby, Missile in Lower Warfare, and other than that,
Ridley or something, but
yeah,
behind Dragon even takes too long, honestly.
Yeah. Not knowing where speed is like we do, that's also a little bit of incentive to check specifically the Chozo items. But he looks comfy on 3 tanks. He's not looking at Precious. Especially with this beam. That's adding to the comfort. The Mother Rain fight is quite short. So yeah, derxu is equipped with the portal knowledge here. The Chronic Boot goes to pre-Aqueduct, and yeah, gonna be headed over to the left side. And like I said, the Kraid boss already being down, his routing was decently inefficient at the beginning, especially because of all the running around at the bottom of criteria. But getting exactly rewarded with Kraid is going to pay some dividends here. I don't know if it will be enough, but we will see. Because the seed is kind of rewarding him into the good path. You get high jump here, you're probably going to go into wreck ship, and you're probably doing E-Tank. I would have picked up that reserve. But like I said, Nikplayer is comfortable on 3 E-Tanks. Pretty much confirmed there.
Yeah, I don't know really either of these runners' vanilla experience. Like if either of them run like KPDR 3 tanks or PRKD with 3 or 4 tanks, but sometimes that can make a distinction in whether or not that safety to pick up the reserve is worth it or not.
Yeah, some very nice jump morphs here by Nikplayer in Coliseum to stay on top of those spikes. That was really fast for having no speed to spark back and no space jump to do other things.
Yeah,
and he is not going to... Right, he's not going to check the back of East Meridia. With our all-seeing eye, we know that regardless of Tyrion or Croc, it's good to not do that now, because whichever one it is, you can't really do anything with it right now.
Yeah, with what's available though, I mean, it could be Kraid from what Nikplayer knows, but he's also got 2 West Meridia portals that he doesn't know, right? Is that correct?
Correct. He doesn't
know the map station. We know that one.
Yeah, and no one knows Main Street.
Right. So he's probably going to try to go through West Meridia, clear those out, and figure out where the dead ends are. Then if he has to, it's really not that bad to get back to East Meridia to go through to check, is this Kraid?
Yeah, I
You kind of
don't know.
assume that the back of it is either Croc Turian or one of the East Meridia. I mean, there's like a 4 out of 5 chance from him.
Yeah, from his perspective, so he doesn't know 2 West Meridia portals, so those were possible. He didn't know this side, the other side of Lower Norfair, because that's over there by Crate, and he doesn't know those 2 Crateria portals, and then none of the dead ends. So there was actually a decent shot that what he was like from his perspective, there was a decent shot that going back there would have taken him to somewhere good, but it doesn't.
I mean,
At least not at this
West
juncture of the
Meridia is
race.
not somewhere good though. You don't want to be in West Meridia.
Well,
You want
it's
to
not
be
somewhere good
Crate
because
or
you don't want to be there, but it,
LN.
yeah, it would
And-
have. West Meridia would have gotten him another portal check, which could have been somewhere good as well. So yeah,
I guess I kind of disagree because you can already just get to West Meridia and check the portal from the other side with the other one that you need to check too. I don't know. I like the decision to leave here. This one's going to be a little bit more awkward because I don't, honestly no. You still just leave the back of Lower Norfair and then you just go to West Meridia, check what those 2 portals are, and just go to like whatever the closest one that you have remaining is at all times until you find Kraid.
I actually think, I don't know if you're looking at a tracker like I am. West Meridia is pretty awkward to get to from where he is, so 2 back into Criteria is actually a pretty good option as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, good point. Because it's another 2 connectors that he doesn't know.
So if he ends up doing that, like we said, back to go out of I mean, if he goes, back out the back of Lower Norfolk, or if he ends up at the front, and both of those have the potential to put him basically where he needs to be, which is Kraid at Moat. He's actually got 2 good options from here. And given all of the traversal, it's probably not any slower to do the front of Lower Norfair, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth the risk in this scenario, but he might
Yeah, only
that,
3
that
tanks.
reverse dive. No, I mean I just mean risk of it dead ending somewhere bad. 3 tanks with gravity suit, as long as your energy's full, isn't so bad.
Yeah. He is gonna check back here. Space jump is like the only good thing that could have been, yeah. Given our knowledge.
There is at least one more E-tank that's considered Chozo, because that is considered a Chozo item.
Yes.
Since it's the boss reward. So that would have been maybe nice enough for him to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see what derxu does too here. Hopefully, just to keep the race interesting, Close does the same thing Nikplayer did and goes straight to the E-tank location, grabs his gravity, and then can zoom on through Lower Norfair and East Meridia as well.
Yes, and we'll have to see what he decides. I think... See, it's really hard timing-wise to figure out exactly where they are in relation to each other. If derxu, after doing this and getting this gravity suit, which he is going this way, if he does Lower Norfair first and then does East Meridia and just goes to the back and that's Turian, he might be ahead. It's really hard to tell, though. Just because, number one, we have to figure out which place is Turian, and he does have a speed advantage. I hadn't really processed that in my thinking yet, so yeah, this is really something. Actually,
Nikplayer probably gets that speed. He is checking like behind Ridley, behind Kraid's not that much longer. Like he checked behind Dragon, so that tells me that Nikplayer does still want to check for that speed, or I guess maybe space jump helps a little bit, enough that it's worth looking at.
Yeah, and the same fall here. Yeah, the same fall here in E-Tank. Yeah, take off high jump boots. It's much easier. High jump boots, the best item, except for when it isn't, which is like a couple of places, and this is one of them. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Nikplayer is doing. Yeah, he is got power bomb selected. This is good for him. And from there, it's really just a matter of what do you do? If he went down to check meme route, it would get him close to finding out which place is Turian. And maybe that's an alright play.
Going to meme route,
After
You're
Crate
saying
Player, of
after, right?
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the highest reward and the biggest punish because it could be Croc, right?
right.
So it's
I
really hard.
probably,
And
honestly, I'd
again,
probably take the save at the ship and then ignore it unless everything else dead ends, and that's your Tory.
yeah,
And then
that
you
is
reset
that's
back to the ship because you'll have all 4 of your bosses done. Yeah, because Nikplayer does have 3 bosses done right now, I believe, right?
yep.
If I missed something, okay.
Ridley is dead. So yeah, that's a really good all around coverage play. I really like that. And derxu, like we said, he needs to get back into Red Tower. Both of the other boss areas are there, and Red Tower 2 Upper Norfair was actually right next to him. So I don't know why he went down here. And he seems to agree.
Yeah, just went down the elevator and probably immediately realized the mistake, and it happens to all of us. I may have just yesterday went through a portal and stopped and figured, why am I here? What am I doing in this location?
Yep. So, yes. So right now, because of how close Nikplayer is to having the 4th boss down, it seems to me that even on the immediate gamble of back of East Meridia working out for derxu, I think Nikplayer would still get there first.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see what decisions are made by our runners. Ooh, he's going. Yep, he is going to Lower Norfair first. He even
Absolutely,
has.
because derxu knows he has the knowledge of where the front of Lower Norfair lets out, so this is for sure an in and out through the back. Don't like the hitboxing of the pirates when you could kill them to reduce lag instead of hitboxing to add a million years of lag with the plasma beam.
I am in agreement, as well as one non-charged plasma shot is certainly not going to kill them. So you could get hit, and screw attack is definitely going to kill them. We did see skip of the various suit location by Nick. Is not going to have speed. So
yeah, that's a little unfortunate of a punish since he's been checking like everything else that's similar time sync to do, just not the one that actually pays out for him.
Yeah. So we gotta see which direction he chooses to go in. I think actually, I don't even know what the worst. I mean the worst option for him is to go to East Meridia first and get Croc.
Right. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that seems.
I mean, if it is, you're gonna save here, but it looks like he's just going down. I'd still save here, actually, in Parlor or the ship, but he chose not to.
Yeah, saving definitely the best coverage play. Oh, he almost got the aim down in time. Ooh, some nice charge shots there by derxu on those metal pirates. Not the setup you usually see in New Route, but I think he basically got it just as fast.
Kind of the backup. He missed the first like double freeze kill.
Okay. The kills themselves were very fast. Maybe not the room overall. Yeah, this is gonna work out one way or another for Nikplayer. He's gonna end up in West Meridia down here. He's gonna waste 7 seconds to have his current power bombs be higher than they are.
That might be an accident, just trying to get a little run speed for a faster mock ball. I don't think he intentionally grabbed those power bombs at this point.
So we're about to find Croc or Turian here, and especially if this is Turian, Nick is looking at an extremely good time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Chozo tends to be faster on average than the other settings. Both runners
There
do a
it
great
is.
job with the seed. Yep, gets rewarded with the Turian here.
I mean, with this loadout, no speed, but this is he's gonna be flirting with the sub 50. I think he's gonna just tick over probably.
Yeah, honestly, the only risk here is those 3 energy tanks to derxu's 4. Like, it seems unlikely, but if Nikplayer opts not to save before Mother Brain and gets a bad catch up, like I think that's the only thing that really gets him in trouble here.
Yes, and with full beam, he has absolutely no regard for his ammo. He's picking up some, probably mostly to refill the health that he used running through the lava, but the Metroid rooms are of no consequence to him. We'll see. I expect he'll go for baby skip, no speed, but with high jump. You just got to do one, maybe two extra jumps. So you've got a beautiful beam to break those brambles with no problem. I don't know if he's not opting for the Rinka boost out of Metroid 4 or if this is just what he normally does, but it is a 20 damage difference, and health is a little bit at a premium for him. But
Yeah,
again, if
the
you're a
screw
3 tank 80% runner, did he
attack-
turn screw off?
Did he turn screw off? I didn't see. I guess I wasn't paying attention. But if screw is still on, I mean, you try to normally get through. I guess he did turn screw attack off. So. Maybe not confident in the baby skip and not worried about the health, kind of assuming you're gonna miss it, but not a big deal there.
Definitely looked like he was
if you
trying
want
to get that.
Oh yeah, you definitely try, but I mean, might not have been as worried about the health on the assumption that they'll miss.
Yes, and you obviously can elect to go into the refill regardless of getting baby skip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
PSA also, since this is not the first race I've seen this, those are in area randomizer. The blocks in Aqueduct, the derxu power bomb, are bomb blocks, so you can use screw or bombs to get through those, save a little time. Muscle memory is their power bomb blocks, but not in this specific case.
That's correct. We have seen a few things regarding how derxu was making some decisions earlier in the season that suggest that there may be a few things he's not as familiar with compared to people who have been playing a lot more and a lot more recently, especially with that the powerbomb block change wasn't added by Vari until I believe last year. Those used to just be powerbomb blocks regardless of area of vanilla map. Is we get the Zep skip on Nikplayer's side, but yeah, they are bomb blocks in all area seeds across both Dash and Varia now.
It is pretty hard to keep up though on a lot of these things. You know, there's the different logics, the different item placements. Like, just things just feel different sometimes, even when they're not. Just because, like, you know, Total's logic that's used to place items here versus, you know, the Varia algorithm, and with Map Rando adding another slew of tricks to learn and things to understand about the game, that totally understandable that you might forget something somewhere that could save you, you know, a second.
Yep. We had Nikplayer enter here with 21 supers. That is going to substitute 14 charge shots, so only needs 6 of these. And we should already be in the catch-up phase, but it looks like Mother Brain is deciding against it. Maybe... I think we're only going to get that one catch-up. She should be dead already, yeah. Very, very fast fight.
All done. No damage whatsoever. Always feels nice. And derxu probably going to get punished here. Not that it's going to decide the race or anything, but I would fully expect derxu to go out the back, the Beast Meridia, to check to see if that's Torian, and will not be the case. It's going to be Croc.
Very, very sad and lonely Croc hanging out back here.
Yeah, that save always is interesting to me, because I always want to make that save in the kind of scenario like this, but it really doesn't speed you up very much. Like, even if it's Croc, like, you still have to backtrack through these rooms again to get to the front. Like, I think it does save time, but it's just kind of a lose-lose.
That is true. It's interesting that it seemed like, well, we had the information on the logical path through the seed, but the all of the power bombs that derxu got, allowing him to get crate early, could have paid off, but it was just a little bit too much time, especially because he was just a bit unsure about things. It looked like all those extra checks didn't get him the good items that were all pretty much on path, as you can see on Nikplayer's side. Missing that speed at Kraid, but otherwise full beam, both suits, high jump, screw attack. Gonna be happy with that in any randomizer seed, basically. Kind of funny how things work out where we had the overall knowledge for quite a while that it was a 50-50 whether or not there was a Turian back here or Croc, and we knew it was a dead end regardless. And sometimes the way you route the seed, you know that it's a 50-50, and the way Nikplayer did, he had a ton of options for this back portal, didn't check it ever, and was rewarded for this. So different ways you go through the map can definitely give you different outlooks on where you want to go next, portal-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you're punished by having the ability to do some things earlier, and having done them.
Yep, so like I said, this is going to be very, very quick for Nick. Definitely not going to hit that 50. Even with speed, I don't think he was going to get there, but we're definitely not going to hit 51. We are quite close already. This has been blazingly fast and a very nice showcase of Nikplayer's skill.
Yeah, and derxu's still on pace for around an hour too. Not sure if he's going to have to finish up or not, but that's still a really good time, especially for kind of being pulled around a little bit at the beginning and trying to figure out getting started, getting those power bombs.
Yep. So Nikplayer into the landing site is going to step on the ship and finish this one in first place with an official race time of 50 minutes and 43 seconds. Very nicely done. Nikplayer will improve to 3-1. It is also officially making the bracket stage of this tournament, where derxu will be falling to 2-2, where there are quite a few good runners and still has a couple weeks to get the one required win. And obviously, if you get to 4-2, you're going to be in a better standing for that bracket phase. But that is very nicely done. derxu is going to end up finishing this one out, but see if either of our runners wants to come in here and chat with us about the seed as it happened. Alright.
Yeah, I guess while we're waiting, this is still an awkward position for derxu. Interesting, coming from a different place to try to get to that that Turian entrance, and it's still far away for him, just like it was for Nikplayer.
Yes, it is. West Meridia was in a little bit of a strange place here in the seed relative to where you would have been at the end of your boss killing. As Nikplayer has joined us, I've also marked derxu done so he can hop on in here. A little bit of a spoiler, he will finish the seed in short order once he can finally get there. It is a bit of a trek, but GG's Nick, and there he is. GG's to you as well, derxu.
GG's derxu.
Yo, GG.
It was an interesting seed. I think I'm going to start with derxu because especially at the beginning, it looked like there was a little bit of confusion. Were you not aware that the tube clip in the red tower was in logic?
Exactly.
That's what I expected.
I expected some power bombs, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't thinking it was absolutely not in logic, but I wasn't sure if it was. Yeah. It was just like no way back if it's not the right way, so I literally checked everything else first. That took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of
Kinda
those checks you
funky
did
how that
kind
can-
of, some of those almost paid out, like getting that crate information early and like having that kill, knowing the bosses were probably vanilla, getting speed booster did help speed you up a little bit, but it was obviously just a little too much of a setback. Nikplayer had already been plowing through, getting charge, area, high jump, all that stuff.
I mean, speed is a really good value to pull out, like one of the first things to get. So it's not too bad, but yeah, if you're just too far behind, you can do like, yeah, it's just not gonna work out. And I think I didn't play like peak today, so I've had some, yeah, fell off a cliff there, bonked something there, like that's a little annoying from like seeing it yourself. So, yeah.
Metroid 2 was beautiful for what it's worth, but yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that one.
Yeah, as far as you, Nikplayer, how were you feeling? Obviously, there were 3 missiles down in Blue Brinstar, then you get the screw attack. You didn't look at the gauntlet that derxu did, which was the logical supers, and it was a little bit before you found both supers and power bombs. Were you getting any nervous as far as how you were in the middle of the seed there?
I was. I forget about this check, and my I forgot about this check, and my first power bomb was on Green Brimstar, behind reserve, and yeah, I was confusing on the seats. Where can be power bombs early, and I had luck to find power bombs here on Green Brimstar. And I don't really like skip items on Red Brimstar because in Red Brimstar you can have a lot of good items, and that was paid off. I found Varia. Skip X-ray. I don't know if X-ray was a
So I
good
had
item.
bombs, I think. I had bombs.
Ah, okay. But yeah, skipped Speed Booster did realize that it was behind crates. Maybe I will get the sub 50 when I get Speed Booster, but yeah, the route was very good. I was very scared by the end, because I was thinking, is Lawn Norfair behind Torian or East Maridia, and I decided to do the boss first and check criteria, and that will paid off because I found crate, found West Maridia on the down criteria on meme roads, and found my Torian. That was good.
I was in the situation that I was at Dragon, and I had the East Meridia exit and the bottom left West Meridia exit transition left for possible Turian or Croc. So
Oh, and
I
you
had
check East Maridia, right?
yeah, I did
Oh,
East Meridia first because that's the only way like it could be. Like if I go to West Meridia at this point and it's not Turian, so it's yeah, that's what would be pretty bad.
yeah.
Yeah, just have to check that first.
Interesting how all the extra portal knowledge derxu had at the beginning actually kind of made it worse because you knew that there was a dead end at the back of East Meridia, so you want it to be Turing at that point, but Nikplayer had lots of stuff outstanding, and like he said, chose to do the things in the order he did, which definitely worked out as good as it possibly could have for you. But yeah, definitely smart overall, picking the more open areas and not the linear areas to go through and possibly get punished by a dead end that you need to return to. So yeah, very nicely done. This was very quick, as obviously you get a 50 in a tournament race. That's always going to feel good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Ace, do you have any more questions for them?
I don't think so. It was a great performance from both of you. Both played really well, and good luck moving forward in the coming weeks.
GG again, Nick. Yeah? And
Yeah.
thanks for commentating. Thanks for having us. Was what a good seat. It's fun to play.
Yeah, thank you, GG derxu. Thank you for comms. and thank you for joining, and thank you for having us, chat. I'm looking forward for the next round. Yeah, let's see you then.
Yeah, as mentioned, with the third win, Nikplayer is guaranteed a spot in the bracket phase. derxu, you've got one more win you need to get in 2 weeks, and that 2-2 bracket is shaping up to be filled with quite a few hitters. Ace is already in there. I am hoping to join you, but there's lots of people that are good. There's Break Jake, there's Fringo, Idol, Kupo, just a bunch of people. The Giant Slayer mass has fallen down there into 2-2. It's going to be a bloodbath here these final couple weeks trying to qualify for this bracket stage. So good luck to you in the future, derxu. Unless I'm your next matchup, and then, great, fantastic, absolutely beautiful luck and
No,
all the positive things that could ever happen to you in life.
It's already too late. You wish me good luck. So if we meet, that's gonna be it.
I learned after one time of wishing someone bad luck and dying like 6 times and forfeiting a seed that you don't do that to people. But yeah, thank you both for joining us. I will mention that there is currently, it actually probably just started exactly right now, a race between Crazed Gamer and Iron Rusty. I believe they're in the 1-2 bracket. Yes, they're in the 1-2. So they're definitely fighting to stay alive here. And tomorrow there is one race on the schedule featuring Jero and myself at 8 p.m. Eastern, and there's a match on Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern between Incompetent Perfectionist and Papa Schmo. I believe there was one async this round, so those are the final 3 races that will be live streamed this week, and we will be in for a good rest of this tournament. So once again, thank you all for joining us. We'll let derxu's race finish here. He is going to be stepping on the ship shortly, and we'll roll those credits and get out of here. But yeah, thank you both for joining us, and if you have anything else, feel free. Otherwise, like Ace said, thanks to Nerdvana Gaming for tracking for us, and thanks to everyone at SpeedGaming for helping us put these on. Now we'll shout out the official race time for derxu was 1 hour and 42 seconds, almost exactly 10 minutes between our runners. Couldn't quite wait that final second, but very nicely done to both of our runners. I think we're probably good to just end it now. We have seen the credits, and I believe that derxu's will show us the same thing. So yes, thank you for watching. Head over to SpeedGaming main for Crazed Gamer versus Iron Rusty. Hopefully that's where the raid bot will send us, but if not, there's definitely going to be other exciting action going on the SpeedGaming family of networks. So yeah, we'll see you next mission. Thanks for joining me, Ace.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great time, and thanks everybody for watching, and thanks to the runners for competing.